Hello, my name is Parky and today we are going to be drawing in my sketchbook with me as well as unboxing some ohuhu markers. This is also my first ever page in the sketchbook, so let's have a lot of fun. Oh, but first we need to decorate our sketchbook because this is my first time unboxing it. I told myself that I wouldn't be able to use this sketchbook until I finished my current one, but I figured that now would be the perfect time to open it because I got some new markers. So it all works out though because my current sketchbook is not very good with markers and paint, so this will be perfect. The sketchbook I have here with me is Pikarar's. I actually got this with their spring launch. Spring launch? Oh my gosh, spring was so long ago, but I actually got this one and another one. I think it was a yellow one, but I don't remember anymore. But I just opened this today because again I told myself that I wouldn't be able to use it, but I'm using it anyways. Let's decorate this together. I do have some pikarar stickers, so I'm thinking of using those because it really does just fit the theme. I also have some I am an artist stickers that I'm thinking of putting on. The black and white not pop on this one, so I don't know. And then this Misky one is a little big, so I'm not too sure. And then I have all of these sticker flakes that I'm also thinking of putting on. Hopefully I'll have the artists on screen if I could remember who they are, but if not and you do know the artist, please leave them in the comments below. I'm just really bad at keeping track of this, especially when artists don't have them on the flake or on the back of it. I'm so bad at keeping track of these. This was a pretty simple decoration for me and I didn't end up putting too many stickers on it just because it already has a really cute design by Pikarar. I don't know about y'all, but I used to have really bad sticker anxiety, but then I started buying so many stickers that now I don't have sticker anxiety and it feels really nice. I just kind of use my stickers wherever I want to, and now I have stickers on all of my things and it's really cute and it makes me really happy. And I think seeing my stickers everywhere makes me happy, and then it lessens my sticker anxiety even more, and so now I'm just using my stickers wherever I want and it feels great. Now let's get into these markers, these paint pens. So I have been into using markers and paint pens for a little bit. I own some paint pens that are secondhand. I got them from a art thrift store, secondhand art store, and they specialize in all secondhand art stuff, and I was always interested in paint markers, so I got some set from them. And a lot of the markers were already very heavily used, so some of them I really couldn't get any use out of, and some of them I still am using. So I've been having a lot of fun with those, but because I don't have the color variety that I want, I finally treated myself to a small marker set. And this was actually really inexpensive. I got them on sale from Michael's and they were about $20 for this set of 36, and so it's great. It has a brush tip and a dot tip. So there's another set that also comes with a dot tip, but it also comes with a different tip on the other side. I think it's similar to the brush tip, but it's not flexible. So you get the tapered end, but not with the flex. Here is a swatching time lapse where I will be doing the dot side on the white first for the first half and the brush side on the black for the first half, and then switching it for the second half. And you can already see that these markers are not as opaque as you might think them to be, and I'm personally okay with that, and I'm glad that I got this budget set to just really play around with, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Seeing how they work, seeing how they feel as I layer with them and play with them. As you can see here, I'm struggling a little bit because I put the bottom, like the box, into the top of the box, like the lid, and just don't do that. It was actually kind of a pain to get out, and I just eventually ended up throwing the top somewhere in my room. Yeah, I don't have any affiliate links, so if ohuhu wants to sponsor me and get me their acrylic paint pens or alcohol markers, I would love that because I love drawing with markers. Thank you. And we're finally drawing in this sketchbook. I looked on Pinterest for a little bit and I ended up choosing these two photos. One is a artist drawing of a field, and there were no artist credits on this. If you do know the artist, please leave them in the comments and I will credit them. The other one is of Kiki's Delivery Service, and I've never actually watched this movie, so don't come after me. And also don't put any spoilers in the comments because that would be so rude. I just thought this image of a cat stretching is just so cute. The first thing I really wanted to figure out was how to do this grass, and as you can see, I'm starting off with this really green marker. I very quickly realized that this is way too bright and way too light, and so I stop and I try to be like, oh, maybe I can try some underpainting, and so I go in with this dark gray. I decided to just commit to the underpainting and do it for a lot of the things just because there isn't a wide variety of green in this, but none of them have really that dark green that I need. So now we go in with the lightest green, and it does kind of work. It's definitely not as smooth as I want it to be, and we're trying again with the brighter green, and it's kind of working. I'm gonna commit with it. We're gonna continue with the underpainting again, and you know, we're making it work. I'm not happy with it at this point. I'm actually kind of upset. I'm just like, oh, this really isn't going the way I wanted it to, but it's whatever. We're just gonna have fun. Again, it's just sort of like the small pressures of, oh, my first pages in the sketchbook have to be perfect, they have to be beautiful. But it's like, no, a sketchbook is for learning, it's for practicing, it's for doing whatever the frick I want in it. And so that's kind of the mindset I'm trying to hold, that my sketchbook does not also have to be completed pieces. It can just be ideas, it can be writing about ideas. So I'm really trying to hold that mindset that my sketchbook does not have to be perfect. It's a space for me to learn about art and practice however I want to. So that is how I'm taking it. And so honestly, the underpainting ended up working a lot better than I thought at first. I'm not entirely happy with it in the sense that this isn't what I wanted it to look like, but honestly, again, like, we're testing out these markers to see what I can do with them, how I can use them. And so this was really cool to do because it was like, okay, this light green marker is actually really transparent, so I can layer and build up the color, and the underpainting works really well. But then this darker, brighter green is a lot brighter, so underpainting is a lot harder to do with it, and it doesn't dull the color that much. And so mixing the colors was actually really fun to learn, and just having fun with it, mixing yellows with the light greens and the dark greens and the grays. It was really cool to do this background. One thing that I will say is not that good about this set is that there is no true red. There's 2 shades of yellow, both of which are not very opaque, and then there is 2 shades of orange. One is like a corally, and then one is like a pinkish orange, and neither of them are red at all, and both are pretty transparent as well. And so that's probably the only bad part about this, because you just can't get red, and red is like not a mixable color. So I started talking about the red because I did actually use them for these flowers, and as you can tell, it's very pink. My phone did end up dying halfway through, which is why you don't see me drawing them, but it is what it is, and they still look cute, honestly. So I will say, I think coloring in the sky was actually so satisfying for me. Something about the way that the texture came out was so nice, and I kind of liked the fact that it's striped and it looks so hazy in the background. I really liked that effect. My phone ended up overheating, and so it cut out a bit again. This is the pretty much finished background. Now let's move on to the fun part, which is the cat. I've done a piece like this before in my other sketchbook where I sort of just drew a landscape and then drew a really large creature in it. And I just really like that concept, so I wanted to replicate that here with this cat stretching in the middle of the field. And something that I realized throughout this whole thing is sort of that with acrylic paints, I think I really need to work from background to foreground, because the idea is that they're opaque, right? Though they will be able to draw on top of things. I kind of forgot that that was the point, which is why I'm like doing this underpainting thing, and it did kind of work, which was cool. But that meant that I couldn't place the cat exactly where I wanted to. So as you can see, as I'm sketching, I wanted to place the cat actually a little closer in the foreground. I don't know why that felt so wrong to me, and I think it was just because it was feeling difficult to draw around all of the grass without losing that texture, because I also knew now that, oh, the yellows and the greens are not fully opaque, and then to have to redo it, it's gonna look different anyway. So I decided to draw the cat around the grass, and I'm okay with it. I really like how it turned out. But I think that's definitely the largest lesson with acrylic markers, is that because these are not fully opaque, it's just easiest to work from background to foreground, and I did the like complete opposite. I just worked from foreground to kind of whatever I see, which is again something that I do in most of my artwork. I just kind of start somewhere and do it without any rhyme or reason, and I just have fun that way. And I don't know, I still really like how this turned out. I hope you guys also enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I've just been having a lot of fun with art in general ever since rediscovering markers as a medium, whether they're paint markers or just normal markers. I've been having a lot more fun with art, and it's just been really exciting to finish a piece and be like, oh my gosh, I did that. And I recently heard somewhere that the best inspiration and sort of the best motivation is actually finishing something. And honestly, it's so true. Because once I finished this, I was just like, oh, I can't wait until I get to use my markers again and draw something else. And I've been drawing almost every day since then, and it's been feeling really good. I am recording this about a week out, so it's only been about a week. I'm really excited to get to use these markers and also just sort of see how they last, because they are pretty small for paint markers. Like, I know paint markers are traditionally pretty thick because they have that large paint tube in the middle, so I feel like these might actually dry out pretty quickly compared to the traditional paint marker size. But I'm excited to see that, and also because they are dual tip, I'm wondering if there's 2 tubes inside, one for each side, which I don't think is probably true. And so I'm wondering if it'll dry out faster since it's sort of 1 tube with 2 open ends and things like that. But maybe we won't even get to that part. Maybe I'll end up just finishing up these markers before they end up drying out. Something that I didn't get to show in this video is that there's absolutely no bleed through. Like, as you can see, I went in over on some places with 4 or 5 layers of paint, and the page didn't warp at all. Everything went on pretty smoothly. And so I know Pikarar has mentioned a bunch of times that this paper is coated, and so it takes paint really well, anything liquid. It takes markers really well as well, but it doesn't take things like pencil very well, though it kind of scratches the surface and doesn't stay on. But something that I also realized is that as I've been working in it and drawing in it, is it also takes fountain pen ink very well and ink very well. I will say it's less forgiving than paint is, just because ink is more water-based. So there are some bleeds in my page where I went over in a lot of ink, like the ink just pulled because I kind of left my pen there for a moment. Not even a moment, like maybe a couple seconds while I was thinking. So it does eventually bleed through, and I mean, it's paper, so it can't be perfect. It's an amazing sketchbook so far. Marker also dries really quickly, and I can't tell again if it's because of the paper that it's on or if that's the quality of the paint, but it's been really fun to work with. Like, I can work on one section, work on the next, and then come back and it's already completely dry and I don't have to worry. Even if I'm working on one section and then I go back right over it with another pen, the beginning of that section has probably already dried. I think it has to do a little bit with the fact that the paint is definitely a bit thinner than some other paint pens, and so it does just dry a lot quicker than other paint pens where the paint is really thick and viscous. But I kind of like that. It does lend to that sort of marker quality about it, and I've been having fun. And I'm really excited to hopefully do a finished sketchbook tour sometime soon and show you all of the finished art that I've drawn in here and pages, and just how I use my sketchbook, because I've been having a lot of fun. But hopefully in the meantime you'll get to see more videos like this, so that'll be exciting. And this is my first ever art style video, like video where I'm doing art and a voiceover, so let me know what you think if you want to see more. I do have fun with a lot of these. I don't record all of my spreads just because I've also realized that mindset of like, oh, I need to record this for content just stops me from being able to create at all. And I was like, that is so silly. I should just create when I want, and if I want to also record it in that moment, then I'll do it. But if not, screw it. Like, creating is the most important part of the process. And so yeah, let me know what you think, and I will hopefully see you guys soon for some more art or something else.